Hey y'all, Jim Pankey. I was probably supposed to have done this a month ago, but I hadn't really had an opportunity, and thought I'd take a minute today after all my lessons and talk to you about this Recording King RK-R35. I got this banjo 2 years ago, well, 2 years and a month, and I've reviewed it when I got it, and then kind of every 6 months or so after, and tell you the changes I've made and some of the things that I might have done with it, but it's pretty much just like it was 6 months ago. Tightened the head a little while back, and it's still about where it was. I haven't really changed anything on the tailpiece. You can see that there's definitely some frosting coming off the head. As you recall, it's a satin finish, but the neck, after 2 years of play, finally does get shiny. I guess that's just natural and par for the course, and I've played the heck out of it for 2 years. The resonator still has a regular satin finish on it. The hardware I haven't cleaned. I'm notoriously terrible for not cleaning instruments, and the hardware is just dirty, and I guess that's a sign of use. There's not much dust on the instrument because it's been one I've been playing quite a bit. It's just not sitting around. It's great. In 2 years, has it gotten any better? I don't know. Probably. I mean, it's been played, so it's doing things. Right now, the strings on it aren't optimal. I've done 3 or 4 outside shows with them, and I've just been really lazy about changing them. But it still sounds pretty good. Even with the really dead strings on there. Fret wear is probably what you'd expect in 2 years' time, and definitely they need to be dressed at this point. For years I went wondering, what could I recommend to students, and I was looking at anything and everything out there. There's the whole, there's just was quite a bit, but I was never really comfortable saying, hey, take this, this will be a good banjo for you. I'd always add, this would be a great one to start out with, if later on you're going to want a different banjo. When I just found out about the Recording Kings and started looking at them, and especially this model, it was a model that I felt like I could tell somebody, hey, you can buy that banjo. You won't have to buy another banjo unless you just want another banjo. And the price point was just where it ought to be. You spend a little more than you do on an absolute beginner starter banjo, but you don't have to replace it. I mean, I've played this thing on the road for 2 years with, I play with 3 different groups, but primarily the Lone Mountain Band, and we do bunches of shows, and I'm teaching with it. In 2 years' time, I used this banjo on every show that I played with the exception of 2, and at that point I had the banjo loaned out to a friend for, about a week, and so I missed 2 shows with it. It felt kind of bad, but things happen. Now, I wanted to be able to say I played it on every show for 2 years, but we could just ignore those. We could just ignore those shows that I didn't use it with. But it's that good. It really is. Otherwise, I wouldn't play it. I wouldn't continue to carry it to shows. I wouldn't continue to show it to people or tell you about it. So this is kind of my last big hurrah review on this banjo. I promised myself I'd do one every 6 months for 2 years, and once 2 years is kind of over. I'm still playing it. If you come out to the shows, chances are this is going to be the banjo I see, or some other Recording King. I'm just really happy with the product, and so hope to see you out there sometime, and come check us out at the shows. And give Recording King a look if you're shopping for a banjo. They play great. So go check them out. Good to see you again. Subscribe. Thanks.